All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a substitute today. So what you're going to be working on right here is called a Flextangle. So this is actually a really tiny little interesting paper sculpture that you're going to be creating. I got the template from babbledabbledoo.com, and let me walk you through how this works. The very first part you're going to look at is pretty much all of it. Woo, look at all this. We have our actual template here that you're going to be using to make your device. We have a little pattern guide over here in the corner that explains how you're going to create your patterns. And then we have the step-by-step instructions. Y'all read the instructions 2 or 3 times before you get started, because I promise you every question you're going to ask is probably answered right here. So let's start first with this pattern guide. You'll notice that each one is telling you a letter. There are 4, A, B, C, D. There's 26 total, but we're only working with 4. And they're labeled here as well, A, B, C, D. This cool little tool is a fidget tool. It's a rotating fidget tool, and I will show you later or have a teacher sample ready for you guys to look at. But the faces that are labeled the same will show at the same time. So all of the B faces will be up at the same time. All of the C faces will align and be up at the same time. So what you want to do is you want to create a pattern in all of the A blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that matches. And you want to do the same pattern for B. So do a different pattern, but all of the B squares be the same. So we have 1, 2, 3. C patterns, 1, 2, and then the 2 halves are split for 3. Same thing with the A, 1, 2, and then 2 halves are split. And then D, 1, 2, 3. You want to have the same pattern in those coinciding letters. Trust me, this is how this thing looks cool. Now, if you read the instructions, it goes over that. Draw different designs in each row of triangular sides. Refer to the pattern guide. So A, B, 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 B. Okay? So draw a different pattern in each one of those groups. Cut along the bold line. I know that there's an awful lot of lines here. It can get really confusing really fast. You're going to cut the outside line all the way around. You can cut this bad boy out. Crease the dashed lines face to face. We'll worry about the face to face part in a minute. Then crease all the diagonal lines back to back. Again, we will worry about that in a minute. Gently fold the paper to match the dots. So these 2 dots touch, these 2 dots come together, these 2, and then add glue to the glue tabs to seal this bad boy shut. Then add glue to the end tabs. Look, they're even labeled. They say end tab. It's amazing. It's almost like the instructions, if you read them, coincide with what's here. And then tuck into the open end of the tube. Press it to seal. Now, first off, I'm going to tell you that when you are gluing something like this and a sculpture like this, you need to hold the glue in place for a good amount of time. You need to use the least amount of glue possible, and you need to give it time to dry. And if you try to flex this thing before it's dry, well, everybody's going to be experiencing regret. So let's start here. I already cut this thing out. I do not have it patterned yet, but I already cut it out, and you'll notice I already folded it. Every single line on this thing needs to be folded. So all of my dotted lines are folded. This is cardstock, so I actually did my folds both ways, and I creased them really good. I promise you, you want it to be folded both ways and then creased really good. Now, in the instructions, it specifies that certain folds are going to go in certain directions. It says face to face or back to back, okay? Face is obviously the side that's patterned. Back is the side that is not. You only have to draw a pattern on one side, but you really want to make sure all of these creases, including the diagonal lines, are really well folded, because that's going to make this thing work. All right? So the first instruction that we're going to look at here, because we're going to assume it's already patterned, we're going to assume you already cut it out, crease the dashed lines, dashes are the dotty dot lines, face to face. So they need to fold into each other. Okay? Crease the diagonal lines back to back. Well, I folded them both ways to kind of increase the flexibility, again, because this is cardstock. So once you have all that, gently fold the paper to match dot to dot and form a tube. What's left of my dots, you may have to mark yours, okay? I like this. So we're rotating it around. And we're just kind of slowly working that in. But the dot that was here on this corner and the dot that was here on that need to come together. and each little section will glue up like that. See where it says glue? Watch. We're going to go yoink, and I'm going to hope that this works because I haven't actually tested this glue in a month. Yay! We're going to put the glue on here. We're going to use our finger, and I know you guys get all cringy. Quit crying. Do it. Put the glue all in there. Dot to dot. Not a lot. And crease that together. Okay? You want to apply pressure. You want to hold it in place. You can't really fit your fingers in there to get this put together. So sometimes what I have found helps is folding that section together and just kind of applying pressure. And you want to glue each section. So here's a dot, and here's that other dot, just like before. They're going to fit together. See, that's actually coming up right now because I'm not giving it enough time. You have to give it enough time to dry. Glue, smear it in there, and attach. Yoink. I might need a little bit more glue on that one, actually. Okay, we're just going to push these all together and make sure they dry. I am rushing this so I can show it in a video. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on this one. Smear that in there. I don't know why it's got to be a smear, not a smear, but we're going to say smear because it's funnier. I don't know. And put that in there. And you want to make sure that all these little sections end up closing. This is the ending shape. All of these triangles right here are the A. It rotates. All of these triangles here are the B. It rotates. Okay? You'll get all of the triangles to show up. Now, once these are dry, these little end tabs right here, see how I've got two of them? They're going to fit in here. Is it a pain to do that? Yes, it is. If you rotate it to the right angle, usually A is pretty good. You have glue on both of these tabs. They go straight up in there, and then you press and seal it and hold it until it's dry. Okay? So put a little bit of glue, and a little bit of glue, just like that. Smear that in there. I got a little bit too much glue, so I'm kind of wiping the excess off. Rotate it around. Again, A side up is usually the easiest place to get that in there. Make sure you get both those pieces in there, and then pinch and hold. Hold it together. You need to hold it and wait for it to dry. It takes a little bit. I am not going to give it the amount of time it needs for the video. We're just going to cross our fingers and hope a little bit. But to show you guys how this works, all of A pattern will show up here. See, I'm not holding it long enough. All of B pattern will show there. All of, you see how this works? C pattern will show here, and then it rotates again to get to D pattern. Now, I'm going to put this back, and I'm going to sit here and hold this and hope that it dries in time. But that's what you guys are going to be doing today. You are expected to have a fully patterned piece. You need to put your name on one of the triangles in pen so I can see it, and I need to have it done by the end of the day. Have a good one. Have fun. Bye.